So Chris Rock did stand up last night in Boston. Um, that's the best thing about comedy. Like Chris Rock could easily just hide, release a statement through his publicist, cancel all his shows. But as a comic, that's what comics are known for, like being like, a man of the people. And he went up there, from what I read, got two huge standing ovations. He addressed it. He was like, "Hey, I'm not ready to talk about this. From what you guys heard, I haven't talked to anybody." I think he was referencing the P. Diddy thing. P. Diddy was like, "Oh, they're going to make up." But, Chris Rock went out there like a man and, talked about it for a little bit, did his act, and is moving on. I don't think Will Smith has that luxury. That's the key difference between actors and comedians. Like actors almost have this persona that they create through their films, right? I think somebody even said this, like when Will Smith was apologizing, it was like he was playing a movie character, right? Like he's crying but like comedians, one, I don't think we have that skill set. Maybe Robin Williams had that, but like most comics are just who they are. Like they have fans because that's what makes them authentic, right? Like the more authentic and real a comedian is, the more they just connect with an audience. Louis C.K., Chris Rock. You can even say Ellen DeGeneres. Like there's a reason why they gave her her own daily talk show. Because there was something about her that that resonated with fans. And Chris Rock, I think he's gonna come out a winner out of all. I mean, he was already a winner before this. I mean, people loved him before. Uh, this is only gonna make him more beloved by the people. I personally think Chris Rock will probably dig more into this and address this further. I just think because he's just starting his comedy tour. Like he's just starting. So like every city he goes to, people are gonna be like asking him questions. Chris, what happened with Will Smith? Da, da, da. Like there's no way he can evade this. So I feel like that's what comedians do best is turn pain into funny. So he'll find a way to spin this into gold, in my opinion. Will Smith, on the other hand, I don't know if he has that outlet, so he has a much longer road to redemption. Guess we'll see. So Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting. I guess he was diagnosed with aphasia. I didn't even know what that was. Here's the Webster's definition. It says aphasia, loss or impairment of the power to use or comprehend words, usually resulting from brain damage as from a stroke, head injury, or infection. I mean, could be a stroke. I mean, the guy's in the late 60s, or maybe it was an onset accident. I guess we'll never know. Whatever it is, you kind of feel bad for the guy. I mean, cognitive disorders are no joke. I mean, even though Kevin Smith did talk shit about him, said he was a dick to work with, which I think Kevin Smith actually apologized recently. But still, like, Bruce Willis is an icon for acting. I mean, all the great movies he's made. I mean, Die Hard series, Moonlighting, I mean, Sixth Sense, Armageddon. I love Looper. That was a great movie. And to deal with a cognitive condition where, like, your mental faculties are affected, I mean, this goes to show you that, like, nobody can escape life. And it's just sad, like, as you get older, you just see, like, your heroes get picked off, whoever it is, your family, Hollywood people, sports figures. I mean, nobody, nobody can escape time. But anyways, I guess this has been a suspect thing for years. And there was an article in the LA Times today where people were noticing this for years. And there was a director named Mike Burns, and he was actually asked to condense Bruce Willis's dialogue. And here's an excerpt from that. It says, he said, after the first day of working with Bruce, I could see it firsthand, and I realized that there was a bigger issue at stake here and why I had been asked to shorten his lines, Burns said. On that film, Burns was tasked with compressing all of Willis's scenes, about 25 pages of dialogue, into 1 day of filming. Now, I don't know how many people have actually been on set, but like movie sets are no joke. There's like a lot going on. They're very expensive. And the fact that this guy was asked to condense Bruce Willis's dialogue into 1 day of filming, that's insane. That means there's some serious things going on. And apparently Bruce Willis was paid like $2 million for 2 days. That's $1 million a day. So the fact that he's stepping away from acting and, is not making this money anymore means that it's a serious issue. And it's going to affect him, not just the movies, but his day-to-day and life. So hopefully, Bruce Willis, can recover somehow, and we'll see him again, but who knows? Ezra Miller, star of The Flash, is going berserk in Hawaii. This is quoted from the AV Club. I mean, this is just too funny. I mean, to me, it's hilarious. Miller was quietly arrested in Hawaii for allegedly grabbing the mic and lunging at patrons at a karaoke bar. Also, these two people, this couple, I guess he broke into their bedroom, and the complaint says that he accosted them, stole their passports and wallet, and he threatened, "I will bury you and your slut wife." Now, apparently this guy's going through some issues, but this raises the question of celebrities. Are they in a different realm of sanity? And I've worked with a few in Hollywood, and no, some of them are pretty nice and normal people, but in general, they're put on a pedestal, and I have seen celebrities who are just like insane, and they go insane, especially at a young age. I think the younger you hit it, the more prone you are to going this berserk and not operating like a normal human being, especially when you're placed in, Hawaii, or like you're shooting in Atlanta. You hear about these bar fights, or, it's really hard, especially when you're like a recognizable face. Now, look, I'm not famous at all, but I have been very close and seen celebrities, and just seeing their world and how, the world treats them. It's like they're glorified. And sometimes when that happens, it's easy to snap when, you're medicated, or you've got some vices, alcohol, drugs. Like, who knows what's going on with Ezra Miller? I mean, the guy is a legit star, and sometimes, things can go haywire. And sometimes all you can do is sit back and watch. I mean, obviously, I think his team, whoever's behind that management team, agents, they're probably, on alert right now, trying to just quell the storm, because nobody wants to work with somebody who's going to go off the rails, especially when you have that bad press. Like, you don't want that feeding into your project. The good news for Ezra is that he's a star. I mean, Hollywood is forgiving, especially if you're in the up and up, and he sort of is. So I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. I think, you go into rehab for a few years, put out some press clippings, you're back on track.